Hi everybody, I'm Amber and I'm going to do a card reading for this week. So this is going to be a current energy reading for the week of March 5th, 2019. Although of course if you're finding this somewhere on the internet later than that, there's going to be a message in here for you too. So, hooray! Let's see what wants to come through for us this week. All right, so we're going to pull a card for the general energy, which as ever is intense. We have a lot going on this week. Okay, so that's the general energy. I'm going to pull actually a card as well from the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. So this is going to kind of supplement the current energy card. I love this deck. I love both of these decks. People sometimes ask me what I use. It's the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reed, and then this is the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit. So, all right, what do we need this week? What do we need to know about the energy? There we go. Okay. Ooh, that one wants to come out too. All right, so let's see. We might pull some more cards, but let's see what's come up. Ooh. All right, so energy for this week, tick-tock. Okay, so what I'm getting for us for this week is that time is shifting. What does that mean? Thanks, esoteric, etheric messages. Okay, time is shifting. So when I look at this card, I really just see like, it's like this pocket watch leaving the hands, almost like it's being thrown. And so it really feels like the message isn't time is slipping out of our hands. It's that time is working differently. It's like we're almost trying to grasp time in the way that we're used to experiencing it, the way that we're used to playing with it and just being in it as humans. On a somewhat random system of time. Not entirely random, but somewhat random. But it's shifting. The way that we experience our lives is shifting right now, which includes that element of time. And it feels like actually this next card is going to be important. Okay, so the tarantula. I don't think I've ever pulled this card before. So, all right, when we look at these two cards together, okay, we need the third card. Ooh, and the snake. I don't think I've ever pulled this card either. All right, this is fun. So, we'll actually we'll get a fuller sense when I read the little booklet situations here. But, okay. Well, one thing about spiders is they're web weavers, they're magicians. Spiders are the magicians of the animal kingdom in a lot of ways. And it really feels like our magic is being ignited as we're stepping out of sort of the normal human constructs that we're used to, like the construct of time, our own constructs, the construct of our personality. When we're living a human life, we develop stories about ourselves, created through experiences as children, as young adults, both the good and the bad. It's kind of it's helping us to construct almost a web around our soul so that we feel like we can kind of move through the world with something that makes sense. But it's almost like it's time to unweave that and go back to a time when we didn't have that story built up around us because we don't need the story anymore. And okay, so the snake, the circle of the snake is like we're this eternal, hopefully this is all going to come into like a actual graspable message, but I'll just keep talking until that happens. So the snake it's that eternal beingness. Like we are eternal beings. We are God, the divine spirit, expressing itself, experiencing itself in a human form on this planet. And so it's like we're actually being asked to both step back into our true selves, the beingness of our souls, our spirit, rather than the kind of human story we've constructed around ourselves. So we're simultaneously being asked to step back into that, but also step forward more into the world as it is, rather than the world we've kind of created it. Because of course, as we've created these stories and these concepts around our souls, our, human experience, like I have this concept of myself as, sort of weird. And like, I have this concept of myself as someone who sometimes uses humor to deflect uncomfortable emotion. And it's like all of these pieces that I see as Amber. Is that really part of my soul? I think in some ways, yes. Like, I think the humor, that joy, that laughter, that fun, the way that we can play in that, that can be part of our beingness, but the stories around it, maybe not so much. And so in the way that we've built these stories, these concepts of ourselves as people, yourself as yourself as, whatever gender you are, whatever your name is, whatever you've sort of developed as a story about yourself, how much of that is true? And by the same token, how much of what we've collectively developed as a story around the world, how much of that is true? Like, how much of time is actually true? So we're kind of unweaving these stories, thank you, Tarantula, and coming back to ourselves as, as whole beings, as souls, our true selves. So basically, it feels like the veils are falling. Interesting. So this week, it really feels like we are kind of returning to the truth in some ways, the truth in the world and the truth of ourselves. So microcosm, macrocosm, and beginning to experience what it can be like without kind of those restrictions. I don't want to say chains, although that was a word that popped up. It's more like the kind of the boundaries, the story that we've created is maybe falling away now, so that we can experience ourselves and the world as we and it truly are. Cool. All right, well, let's see if anything else comes through when I look at what the people who made these decks actually meant by these cards. Okay, so the first energy card, TikTok, essential meanings, timelessness, divine timing, immeasurable time. When humans created time, everything changed and contracted. People have come to look at life in a linear way, imagining that the past is behind them and the future is ahead of them. But what if that isn't true at all? What if everything, creativity, beauty, chaos, and order, were happening now in a glorious timelessness? You have all the time in the world to co-create the life you desire, so release your agenda. Release our stories, release our constructs, release what we want, what we thought we wanted, what we think we need to make us happy. Let go of your need to shape each moment to your expectations, knowing that what is yours will never be withheld from you. Miracles are here right now and always show up when you need them, right on time. That's nice. I will take that. Thank you, miracles. Okay, so now we're going to look at the tarantula message. And of course, with these readings, because this is for anybody and everybody who watches it, but that means it is more of a collective reading. So take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. It also feels like this really is more of an energy reading right now. This is more about the time we're experiencing and the time we're in, as timeless and divine as it is. Okay, tarantula. Ooh, at a crossroads, claiming life's purpose. The tarantula represents a moment when a great decision must be made. It involves prioritizing your life's deeper purpose or dharma. A habit or routine from the past is sidetracking you from your dream, yet a voice inside keeps begging you to refocus your attention. In order to find true happiness, you must choose dharma. Until you do, satisfaction will be fleeting. The tarantula hovers, patient and calm, like an old friend that knows your inner soul. It already knows you'll choose wisely. When in balance, follows intuition. When out of balance, hesitates over intellectualizes. To bring into balance, daily journaling. Okay. Yeah, so this is really landing for me personally because the past few days I've really been thinking about why am I here? How can I help? How can I use what I have as a channeler, as an energy healer, as a writer, as a human with a heart? How can I use those things to help? How can I use those things to do what my soul came here to do? Like, there's a reason I'm in this body, just as there's a reason why you're in yours. And yes, it's to experience this world, to play, to find joy, to help. But we do have a specific purpose, and how I've been really thinking about okay, how can I fulfill that purpose while also taking care of myself in a way that feels really good? I don't have any answers yet, but it feels like this is what we're doing right now. We're sinking into our soul's purpose here, into the reason that we showed up at this time in this body to have this really physical experience here. Like, why? That's a small question, no big deal. So it's really about kind of re-centering with that purpose and allowing ourselves to step away from our stories so that we can see that purpose clearly and kind of line up our energy to support it, rather than being kind of drained by these thoughts and emotions around the story that we've created. So I'm talking a lot about story today. So the next card that we pulled is the snake. Let me just find it in the little book. Right, here we go. Ooh, fun. Okay, so this is our snake card. Guardian of unawakened magic and creative potential. The snake is a symbol of our highest potential. It is said that Shakti, our creative life force, lies dormant at the base of our spine in the form of a coiled snake. Regardless of whether this image rings true for you, it's well worth considering the amount of unawakened or untapped potential within. What would life look like if you woke it up? How can you stir it from slumber? An experienced yoga or meditation teacher can lead the way. Make haste. The snake card appears when there is no more time to waste. That's interesting because it feels like we have two opposing messages here. We have the time isn't really a thing, all in divine timing, it's all good, and then this is the let's get on it, there's no time to waste. So see which one, maybe one of these resonates more for you than the other. Maybe there's sort of a meeting of the two. It feels to me like it's both, because on the one hand, yes, time doesn't operate the way we think it does. There's plenty of time, everything in divine timing, but also we are here for a reason. Why would we delay in really shifting fully into that? Why would we delay in executing that in whatever way feels good to us, fun to us in this moment in time, while knowing that we can always change it. It's not like making a decision today means that that's the decision for the rest of all time. It's the decision for today to really fully step into the Dharma, into the soul's purpose. So yeah, when in balance, prosperous, creative, charismatic. When out of balance, starts and stops many things. To bring into balance, Kundalini yoga and meditation. So the two sort of action steps from these cards around bringing these energies into balance with meditation, yoga, journaling, it's all very, that's always the thing we're told to do. But, there's a reason that those sort of messages always come through. And I think it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be journaling. It can be writing a creative story. It can be coloring. It can be just really checking in with your story on a regular basis. You can show up for yourself in whatever way feels good to you. So really don't say, okay, well, shit, now I have to journal, or God damn it, I have to go to yoga. If that feels good to you, if that sounds fun, do it. If not, fine, just sort of feel in and see okay, how can I self back to myself in a way that feels really good? How can I step into my mission here in a way that feels really fun and exciting, and, whatever it is that you would like to experience within that. So it feels like this is an incredibly powerful week, and there's a lot of opportunity to play with the energy and play with what your soul is really kind of yelling at you. Where's your soul yelling at you? Where's my soul yelling at me? I'm gonna have to sit with that for a moment. And I think sometimes, the brain yells, the soul is quieter. So sometimes even when our soul is kind of like, we can miss it. So that's where that presence really comes in. That's where that stepping back out of the fray, out of the kind of human fray of thoughts, emotions, and everything, and just being like, okay, I'm just going to notice what's happening. I'm just going to observe myself from a place of gentle, loving curiosity, just see what's going on in there. And that's peace right there. That is it. It just takes practice. We can all do that. Even when you are the resident queen of brain spin, which I am. So if you'd like help with any of these things, you can check out my website, amberadrian.com, or, just send me an email. I have a contact link there, and I have lots of ways that I love to work with people on all of these things, which is my joy. So please, let me know if I can help at all. I hope this served you in some way this week, and I'm sending you lots of love.